clandestine meeting. And you are making those things at her back. And everything goes into collecting her property the husband left for her. Be careful. God will make a judgment for them. Be very, very careful. When you see a stranger, a man or a woman that enters into the community, and you discover that this person is actually a servant of God or a child of God, and you are making caricature of him, and you are doing business, and you're eating the money, and you dupe him, you dupe her, be careful, because God is the husband of such people. God is the family of such a person. And if you dealt with him or her in a negative way, God will destroy you in a negative way. I'm telling you. Give every give no ever again a vacation, even why dear. In a vacation on target, HMC the Menka, or Queen Menka, or Padiganona, Igatago, in a vacation. Be careful. Whether the person is a sinner, whether the person is unbeliever, do not torment such a person. Do not torment such a person. Do not say evil words or things that cannot encourage such a person. For whatever you do against the person, you are your own. These are so many ways people have acquired cause unto their lives. People have maneuvered causes in their life, and they are suffering it today. For them, the smallest organ, the weakest organ, the first organ that dies in every man. Once that is dead, the first thing that collapses completely, first thing within some minutes after death is the tongue. But do you know that the tongue is the part of the body that has ever done the highest destruction in the life of a man, the body, the soul, and the spirit? Whatever that has led people to everlasting condemnation, first, number one is the tongue. So you have to be careful with your tongue. Always tie your tongue. Me, by special grace of God, I have just learned to keep quiet. Whatever you say against me today, I will not listen to you. And the only person that come and tell me, Pastor, Doctor, we heard you. This person, do you know what I will tell the person? I will say, forget about that. I don't want to look into it. I'm not getting a man. I'm going to come. I'm going to sister Jimenka. I'm going to give you brother. Don't worry. I know. You will leave me. What am I coming to listen to? What is the highest thing that somebody can use to castigate you? What is it? That you're a prostitute? Is there any other thing? There's nothing. Is when you also get a good one carrying in a back? When you also, what are you not telling me? We have had a series of it. We have had a series of it. The allegations have come many times, and at the end of the day, what happens? The same person that told you, when I was in my former church, I know of my regional pastor then. Don't want to mention his name. But those that we remember. Those that we know. The man always concentrate on giving people suspension. We saw you with your sister. What are you doing in the market? We saw you at the back of the market. What are you discussing? He will never see he saw you in the hotel. No. He will never tell you that he saw you in bed. No. We saw you with our sister at the market square, and both of you were standing. What were you discussing? Imagine a pastor, a servant of God, the Most High. That you saw your sister or maybe your friend somewhere, only man out there going after them. You people will just start in the public of him. I have not be say when I enter toilet for the market or when I enter into one room. You people were standing here. We call you and begin to query you. What were you discussing with the sister? Always preaching about fornication, always preaching about this, always preaching about this and that. We saw you, the girl you want to marry. We saw both of you discussing. Then we heard that the lady visited you. Why did you allow her to visit you? Without asking the person, when he visited you, what happened? He will never ask you that question. We saw that she visited you. We saw both of you in where you are buying something in supermarket, or we visited you, we saw that both of you are discussing in supermarket. Why? He will give you suspicion. Do you know what finally happened? Oh, Father. First of all, what happened was that when you begin to do all these things, the Bible says, be righteous, but do not be too over-righteous. Over-righteous will make you to do what? We have problem. Now, the first problem he had with the church was that the person I'm talking about is already married with kids. And because of that, he was doing a lot of people. Everybody, I know, because of that, what happened was the first problem he had with the church was that he told the secretary. He told the secretary that when you see any tithe, that any envelope that is very strong, very heavy, are you following me? When you see any envelope that is very thick and strong, keep it this way. Now, that was what him and the secretary was doing for some time. At a particular time, somebody brought a tithe of 100,000. You know, say that one day thing for envelope. He got it. And when the person gave that money, our state headquarters was aware, the regional pastor was aware that such money came to church. So they were expecting the tithe from the above. And because the pastor had told the secretary to remove every fat envelope, the secretary removed the fat envelope. And they calculated from the whatever we realized the week, they calculated everything and submitted it to the state, to the region, and the region to the state. And the state was expecting to see the tithe of that money, and they never met the tithe. And they had to call for meeting. Because the brother that gave the testimony, that gave the money, was actually worshiping from God. He decided to pay that tithe to his village church. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. And then the whole information came to the state. And they were expecting that tithe of 100,000. And they didn't see the 100,000. And they began to trace it. And began to trace it. At the end of the day, the pastor said he didn't know anything about the money. Saying they would be now him they can't money. Waiting in talk. And they said, okay, now the secretary is the one that is aware of whatever money going on. Secretary, come. There was this kind of money. What happened? And the secretary wanted to touch it, and they began to put pressure. And he said that it was the pastor that removed it. The pastor told him to start removing tithes that are very big in this thing. And they have to question the pastor, and have to sanction the pastor, and have to give him query. And he was taken out of the pulpit. But because, pastors they are lovers of themselves. And they say this pastor is not qualified to be pastor at all. They bench him. From there, one day they called him that we are sending you to Calabar. Because anywhere we send you here in Anambra State, they are going to locate you, there's going to be problem. Well, let us send you to Calabar. You know what happened when he went to Calabar? A pastor that preaches righteousness, and every day we saw him with this, our sister. You know what happened? He went to Calabar and Calabash people there. He pregnanted a daughter and a mother. He pregnanted not even one, not even two. They said the total number of people he pregnanted was 10 in number. And out of that, then about 3 families, he pregnant the mother, 2 other daughters of the same family. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Listen to me. What you need to do, listen, what you need to do is always pray. The man is a man of God indeed. God called him. But be careful. The Bible says when you think that you are stood, because you always emphasize the message of God is not always on fornication. The message of God is not always on women. Because you are the type that like gossip. That same thing, the work you do, that is where the devil will take you from. But I'm not interested. If you like, go and get pregnancy every minute of the day. deliver the person more. I will not stop you from working because the Bible, I've always